Okay, folks, on Furious, I'm at that point where I need to put the door panels back on the car, or get prepared to do that. These are the factory door panels. I just weighed them. There's 4 of them. Here's the other one. They're 10 pounds. All this weighs 10 pounds. Now, the back panels, let me get you in here and show you something. So that would be adding 10 pounds of weight to the car. Now, the back panels are already in the car. Oh, I got to move this generator. Hold on a second. Always something. If you look inside the car here, you can see the back panels are already. You guys see that? All right, let's get you up here. There you go. See, the back panel's already in, all the way up to the roof, and the headliner's still in the car. So this car was red with black interior. It's probably a pretty car in its day. Now, the problem with putting this panel back on is, of course, I'd have to take this off. But I've got these pieces here that were welded in to support the Lexan glass, and that ain't gonna jive. See, when they go up there, that's gonna interfere. See what I mean? It looks good. So what I thought I might do, save a little time, is I may put the lower plastic pieces on, and then just use some sheet metal for the top, and maybe paint it black or dark gray or something, and maybe put Furious in there, and that might be what we end up doing, and that way I won't have to relocate these things or notch these panels. So and the lower panels are 5 pounds. Put the lower panels in, I'll gain 5 pounds. I can probably do a little bit more Swiss cheesing to get some of that out. So I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do. Okay, what I decided to do, I decided to put the factory door panels back on the car. It is going to add 10 pounds of weight to the car. I can do some Swiss cheesing on the doors to get some of that back. I ain't gonna be able to get much back, maybe a pound. But the rest of the side panels and even the headliner are still in the car. And the headliner actually looks good. And it just wouldn't look right to have all the black interior panels and then have sheet metal door panels. I just don't think that'd look right. So I'll make Furious a little bit classier. So I meant to do a video. It was real dirty. They've been sitting on the shelf, I guess 2 or 3 years now. Well, probably longer than that. Probably the previous owner had them sitting on his shelf, because when I bought the car, he came walking out of the barn with these things. So we're gonna clean them up. I won't be able to paint them today. It's spotty rain, very humid, misty. But we'll get them good and cleaned up, and maybe one day this next few days I can get a coat of paint on them. And man, we can go to town. We can snap the things in place. The upper panels, I'll show you what I'm gonna do with those. Okay, folks, the interior trim panels, as you saw, I cleaned them up and I got them looking good, but they were still kind of faded. And so I went around and painted them gloss black. And they're drying. It's humid out here, so they're probably going to take 4 weeks to dry. But they're going to look okay. And this is the driver's side, and as you can see, the door handle was rubbing on it, but that's just going to have to be the way it is for now anyway. If I decide I like these on the car, maybe one day I'll look up and find a parts car that's got better ones, but for right now, that's good. I don't want to spend any more money on this. So there you have it. All right, folks, we'll let these dry, and then we'll get these installed probably Friday. Okay, folks, here's the deal. This piece here, this pad, upper door pad, it fits into these little holes right there where the little clips are. See them holes? And it has to fit down over top. In other words, it has to come down top ways first and fit in across over here. That's what holds it in. And then you line the clips up. So in order to get this thing over far enough, I've got to cut it here and here at the back. And also I've got to cut up here at the front. And I think cut it probably the depth of this piece here back. and I got to cut into this vinyl without tearing it all to crap. And I don't know how to do that. But the back, I think I've got to cut because the way the back of it curves back here. I got to cut it back quite a ways. It's going to make it look bad, but for now, this is what we'll have to do. Maybe if I like this car enough to spend the money on it, I'll send these to the upholstery shop and have them done a little bit nicer, round off the edges or whatever. But I'm gonna have to figure out some way of cutting these back and then measure how far back they need to go. We'll see what happens. I'll be back with you. Got the panels on both sides. They look good. They look real nice. Really complements the interior. Okay, folks, the door panels are installed. I'm gonna tell you, that was fun. Turns out these are not the correct door panels for this car. At least the upper parts aren't. The holes did not line up at all. I was noticing that I did the passenger side first because I figured if I screwed up, I'd do the driver's side a little bit better. And I still need to probably take a punch or something, just knock this down. It's a little tight right there. But this mirror hole was over here. I mean, the mirror hole for the for the car was over here. And there was a nice little pretty hole in the door, and the mirrors came through, and I'm like, ain't no way in the world I can stretch it that far. So if it'd been like, you know, 1/8 of an inch off, or quarter, even a 1/4 inch, I probably could have made it work. But so I ended up having to cut a hole here, and it's not designed to go there, so it wasn't really there was already a hole here. It went to about right here, a square hole. And what I did, I just cut out the top of it even more to allow that. So that puts me in a situation where it's really difficult to mount that big metal thing that goes to the back. But it's on there, it's good and tight. I need to tighten up a little more. The mirror never has worked, it's just there for decoration. I never really used the mirrors on a drag car, just other than maybe backing off the trailer or something, make sure ain't no one's little kid standing behind me. Try to get all angles, but right here you'll notice it's not that hole. There's a pin here, a little thing that fits in the door. It pops in the metal part of the door, and it's nowhere in this off out like that far. It's not nowhere near the hole. So what I had to do, I had to drill a couple holes up here and some holes here to kind of hold the door panel in. And I wasn't able to put the cat whiskers in because there's just no way in the world I could have cut through that steel. It just wouldn't have been no way to mount them. So if that gets to be a problem, I'll put some kind of rubber strip in here. But I am going to come up with some kind of trim to kind of cover around here. And I'll probably get a punch or something, just knock this down. I should have ground this down a little bit more, cut that back. But I'll trim that off eventually. As soon as I figure out something that'll work for that, just glue it on probably. Same with this. And maybe something square. And I need to push that down a little bit. But there you have it. That one looks good. The hole for the mechanical roll-up door, obviously we don't need. So I'll plug that with a this little rubber plug. That looks pretty good. And let's walk over here to the other side. Now this side here has got a tear in it, a cut in it. And give me a chance to practice on some of that stuff they sell at the auto parts store. Need to clean it a little bit better. It's been sitting on the shelf for years. The guy I got the car from had them sitting on the shelf. I noticed when I was putting this on, it didn't line up right. And I had a matter of fact, I ended up breaking this one trying to force it on. I was able to pop these through for some reason. I think this one in the middle didn't line up either. Yeah, you can tell it's a little high there, but I think you can tell it's a little high there. Anyway, I ended up cutting this a little bit too much on this side and not quite enough on this side, and then on the other one over there I didn't cut the middle one quite enough. But they're on there. That's fine. I don't think it's going to be a problem. If it is, I'll take them off and cut them a little bit more. But they look a lot better than that old plain old door and the old sheet metal things I was going to put on. That looks, it added a little bit of weight, but you know, classed up the old girl a little bit. Alrighty, we're going to try to paint the trunk lid before we go in tonight.